Hey, what's up, all you restoration members? I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, and I'm coming at you again with another review of Sonic the Hedgehog by IDW. This time is issue 35, which is part 3 of the storyline of Chao races and Badnik bases. It is been a weird journey so far. Sonic and Tails have gone to a Eggman base in order to get some data to help repair Omega and discovered an interesting wooden robot named Belle with unknown origins. Meanwhile, Amy, Cream, Rouge, Gemerald, and Cheese have gone off to a winter wonderland where Chow races are being held in an effort to get some parts to repair Omega from a collector who enjoys Eggman tech. It's been a wild and wonky ride, and but they have managed to get all the parts. They just don't know which ones they need. Let's pick up with the story, shall we? So, we open up with Sonic, Tails, and Belle being surrounded by badniks. It's not like they're packing a wallop, but there's so many of them, it's very likely they're about to get overwhelmed. So Sonic and Tails decide to just kind of get out of there as best they can. With Belle even having a moment where she goes in and saves Tails' life. This is actually the second time this has happened, and they actually do manage to make it outside fairly unscathed. It was a bit of a wild ride, but they managed to get out. But they immediately end up seeing that they have one missed call from Rouge, saying that they need help at White Park. Honestly, this shouldn't be. The situation with Clutch, the Badnik part collector, is over, so very suspicious on that end. But, they ultimately decide to head out, with Belle asking to come along, much to the dismay of Sonic. Sonic's acting kind of weird here, or like oddly distrustful of Belle, and almost kind of malicious to a certain extent. It's very odd the way that he's acting towards Belle. With other, it's not like he's never befriended a robot before. Gemerald and Omega, they're all proof of that. So Sonic is sensing something within Belle that's rubbing him the wrong way, but they take her along because ultimately she has nowhere left to go, and Tails really advocates for her, because, again, like I've said before, she saved him twice. So they head over to White Park, end up meeting up with Amy and the gang, head over to Clutch's room where he's still knocked right flat on his face with General watching over him. Cream informs them that, he has this horde of Chao that he has locked up, but they can't get the door open without unfortunately harming the Chao. But Belle says she can help with a load of tools within her fingertips, saying that she actually is a little bit of a tinkerer, which immediately clues you in on who her creator has to be. I'm still of the firm belief that her creator is the tinkerer. Like back when Eggman had amnesia and just was a kindly creator, a kindly inventor, and I think that she might have been his last creation, which is very interesting that he still ultimately went back to a form of robotics, but in such an interesting way. So, Belle goes and helps Cream with this situation, but Tails had gone off to find Rouge since she sent a distress signal, and it seemed like she needed some form of help, but he hasn't come back yet, so Sonic decides to head out and see what's going on. Meanwhile, as soon as Sonic leaves, Clutch ultimately reveals that he was in fact playing possum the entire time. I thought he was a rat, but it's just like, yep, possum, gotcha, gotcha. And he activates a defense mechanism, which sends a massive Badnik going after Amy, as hordes of other Badniks go after Cream, Belle, and Gemerald. Amy does her best to try to deal with the massive Badnik, but it's to no avail. Its hide is a little too tough. Amy is in trouble. Meanwhile, Tails awakens on a roller coaster tied up next to Rouge, who apparently had attacked him as soon as they had linked up. Rouge says that someone managed to hypnotize her, someone with a familiar looking gauntlet. And unfortunately, she ended up attacking Tails against her own will. This mysterious coded person who we saw in the earlier issues take down Shadow and just sneaking around in general, says that he wants to test some abilities and bring some subjects back to his test chambers. If you haven't figured it out by now, it's Dr. Starline, fresh off his miniseries in Bad Guys. So, spoilers, he manages to survive the onslaught of Zavik um, and his forces, I guess you could say. Zavik and the rest of his team of Mimic, Rough and Tumble. So Sonic ends up, dashing off to try to find out where Rouge and Tails is. He manages to spot them. He ends up, getting attacked and almost falling to his doom, only to be saved by Shadow. And they have this little moment where Shadow is carrying Sonic, and the shippers go wild. People, come on. And then, they manage to catch up with Dr. Starline. He strikes this fabulous pose. It's just like, as soon as Sonic is just like, oh, I know who it is. It's Dr. Starline. It's just like, oh, very dramatic. He's just very over the top. He's playing into the theatrics, which wasn't a thing he did before, but, he's got this plan. He wants to achieve it. I guess he's still working on whatever we saw in the tubes that he had over in the Bad Guys miniseries. But I guess he's managed to keep his tricore and perfect it. And in order to get away, he set up explosives at the top of White Park, sending an avalanche crashing down on the resort. Ultimately, with Sonic having no choice but to try to either save his friends or save the innocent people up at the cottage, which, very evil villainy. Very nice. Very well done. But ultimately, I feel like between Sonic and Shadow, this shouldn't be too hard of a task. If it was just Sonic, that'd be one thing. But with Shadow in the mix, I think they've got this. But, I like the mystery of it being Dr. Starline. He is one to skulk in the shadows and do his thing. But, it's very obvious that this whole storyline is wrapping up. We're reaching the conclusion. Though I do wonder, ultimately, what does Starline want with Tails and Rouge? What is his objective? What is he trying to do? What could he possibly need them for? I mean, the Tricore seems like a very powerful object. He was able to overwhelm Shadow for a moment there, so that is saying something, but there's something deeper going on with Starline's plans outside of, just gaining the abilities of Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, speed, super strength, and flight. So I'm interested to see where it happens there. But I'm also wondering how far we're going to go with the Belle storyline. Is she ultimately just a simple wooden robot made by a simple inventor? Or is there something more deadly behind her origins? Tune in next time on the next issue of Sonic the Hedgehog by IDW. And if you like this video, leave me a like. If you didn't, feel free to leave me a dislike and subscribe and hit the bell icon. That way you never miss out on another issue review. But until then, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.